With the rumors that the Golden State Warriors might be trading for Lonzo Ball, rumors, let me clarify that, rumors, I think this could be a perfect chance for Lonzo to reignite his career. And I say reignite, not turn it around, because some people are talking about him like he's the guard version of Anthony Bennett, or he's the second coming of Michael Carter-Williams. No, he is far from a bad player, and last year we saw exactly what he can do in the right system for the first time in his career. In his third year, he had a breakout year in the second half of the season when the Pelicans picked up the pace. They went 19-13 with Lonzo at the helm, and he put up averages of 14, 7.3, and 8.5 assists. Doing this on just under 44% from the field and over 40% from three over the course of 32 games, half of the season. So if Lonzo can put up those numbers for half a season when this system is actually to his benefit, then it suggests to me he's a good enough player. But I'm not here to defend Lonzo because I did that on another video. Let me break it down for you in 5 words or less. Lonzo is not a bust. So yeah, you don't have to check out that video. I just saved 10 minutes of your life. Although if you do want to check it out, and drop a like on that video as well as this video, I may as well say that now. If you could drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel, I make content like this every single day, and dropping a like, subscribing, it's free, and they both help me out quite a lot, so it'd just be much appreciated. But anyways, yes, Lonzo has taken a massive step back this year as opposed to what he was doing towards the end of last year. But I don't know if I can blame that all on Lonzo. His shooting has been bad. But in terms of his playmaking and overall effectiveness, it doesn't help when the human embodiment of a meatball, Stan Van Gundy, is running an offense that should be stuck in 1973. And, well, he's added the addition of Jason Momoa and Mike Bibby post-retirement. Those are Lonzo's teammates now, not to mention Zion doesn't exactly space the floor, and Brandon Ingram, well, Brandon Ingram and Lonzo don't really fit together because Brandon Ingram wants the ball in his hands and he wants to be playmaking. I'm not just saying, I feel bad for Lonzo, he's in a terrible situation. No, he's not in a terrible situation, and he has been disappointing in terms of shooting the ball, and he still needs to work on aspects of his game. But when you look at what he came into the league as, what he can do and what he promised to do, this is not what he should be doing. This is not his skill set, and it wasn't his skill set in college, being a spot-up shooter, which Van Gundy talked about using him as. This is why he's struggling. I just think he'd be a perfect fit for that team. I think my main thing with Lonzo is how the game needs to be played for him to thrive. They need to play it at a fast pace, and that's where it's interesting with Golden State, because luckily for Zoe, the Warriors have had the 3rd fastest pace in the league this year, and have consistently been one of the top 5 pacers in the league under Steve Kerr. They like to play at an up-tempo, and they like to move the ball fast. That's what happens when you have Draymond Green and Stephen Curry. Obviously, you're always going to be moving the ball fast because of those two guys. But in terms of transition points, they're actually struggling this year, which is an outlier when you consider even before Kevin Durant, pretty much 5 years in a row with Steve Kerr at the helm, they were one of the top 3 teams when it came to transition points. And now they're struggling, although they're still playing at a fast pace. So that doesn't really add up. That's where I think Lonzo might be of interest to Golden State, because he's definitely going to help their transition scoring and their transition play as a team as a whole, because that's where he thrived in college, and that's where he thrived in New Orleans when he got the chance. He's someone that's fantastic in transition because of his quickness of decision making and speed and touch with passing the ball in the open court. That's what he's always been, and that's what he's going to continue to be. So if you want to up your transition game, which the Warriors would probably be looking to do, considering that's been a staple of this team's offense for so long, and now they're struggling in that department, bringing in Lonzo, one of the best transition players and passers in the league, that would definitely help them. And you think back to the times when Draymond and Curry were passing it up the floor to those runners. That's what they're going to have going for them. They've got Draymond running up the floor, Curry running up the floor, Wiggins, Wiseman, all of these guys, athletic, can get down the floor and can create opportunities for Lonzo to outlet to them. I think it's a perfect match in that department, but there's more to it. It's not just about transition offense. There's a lot of reasons why this fit is so good in my opinion. Another thing to note is the off-ball movement and ability of Steph Curry. Coming out of college again, I'm coming back to this because this is how you have to relate to it. Lonzo was seen as a top prospect, but he wasn't seen as a flawless prospect. And coming out of college, it was seen as though he would need to play alongside someone that could score and create for themselves and others. A 2-guard combination. At the moment, he's playing along Eric Bledsoe. You saw it with Drew Holiday. That's where he thrived. That's the best season he's had, was alongside someone like Drew Holiday. Well, you bring in Steph Curry, off-ball movement, gravity, shooting, scoring, playmaking. and all of a sudden, Lonzo is in his natural element. I think with the off-ball movement and everything Steph does, that leads to the Warriors being a much better team when it comes to playmaking and creating open shots. I mean, they're top 10 in the league in open threes attempted, as opposed to the Pels being in the bottom 10, and the Warriors are around middle of the pack for wide open threes, while the Pels are dead last. Simply put, the Pelicans can't move the ball or create open looks. The Warriors can. That'll help Lonzo Ball. Now, I'm not going to defend him because he's been woeful. He's shooting like 30% on open threes, 30% on wide open threes. That's dreadful. That is dreadful. But at the same time, I feel like when his whole role isn't to just be a spot-up shooter, I know this seems kind of hypothetical and it's like, oh, you're just defending him. But think about it. If you've played sports, or even if you haven't, like, you know, when you become comfortable in one asset of your game or your life, and then all of a sudden you're asked to do something that's kind of foreign to you. He has been a good shooter last year. He was a solid shooter, but at the same time, he was asked to do a lot more things. Now he's currently just pretty much being asked to shoot. A lot of the times, that's what it feels like. He's a spot-up shooter, and all of a sudden that takes you out of your rhythm. The Pels aren't exactly creating a lot of good looks or good ball movement. It's not exactly a great offense to be a part of when you're just asked to be a spot-up shooter, and I think if he comes to Golden State, a lot of those things will be put to bed, in my opinion. Am I saying he's going to be a great shooter? No, I don't think he's going to maintain that 30% from three that he has started the season at. I think he can get back up to 35, 36. And then defensively, let's talk about Lonzo, because the person in question, who I haven't even talked about, sorry, I've skipped over him, Kelly Oubre. Kelly Oubre Jr. is the person in question in terms of the trade. The Warriors, they're both on expiring deals, so in terms of contracts, it's fine. I think the Pels would have to add in another player to the mix to make the contracts work. Let's not even get into that at the moment. But in terms of Kelly Oubre Jr., well, defensively, people are thinking he's a bigger wing. Those are the kind of guys you need. I don't know if the Warriors need that at the moment. I think they need some more defense, that's for sure. You can never have enough defense. And Lonzo, in terms of defense, I think he's a similar level to Kelly Oubre. I think he might be a better defender. He's a smarter defender, better help defender. He's probably better at guarding smaller guys, which is what Oubre's been doing. Anyway, you've got Wiggins and Draymond. You can lock up the opposition's wings, or at least you can give them a good shot of doing so. Oubre hasn't really been asked to guard the LeBrons, the Kawhi Leonards. So you're bringing in Lonzo, who's going to be asked to guard similar positions to what Oubre's been doing, and I think he'll do just as good a job, if not better. So defensively, it's a wash in my opinion. I don't think there's much to distinguish them. Not to mention, I haven't even mentioned it. Andrew Wiggins, does he ring a bell? Everyone was calling him a bust. The very same narrative that is around Lonzo Ball currently. Now Andrew Wiggins is one of the better two-way players in the league. Andrew Wiggins, ring a bell? Lonzo Ball now coming to the Golden State Warriors. Draymond Green, Wiggins, Steve Kerr, Steph Curry. Turn around his shooting, like Wiggins is now shooting 40% from three. Lonzo Ball going to turn around his shooting, turn around his defense. How have I not mentioned that? Do we see the correlations? Lonzo's going to come in, and we've already seen it happen. So there's proof that the Golden State Warriors system and playing environment can lead to a player with high potential and high upside reaching the fullest potential. Now, don't get me wrong. Is Lonzo a perfect fit? There's still some question marks over his inability to attack the rim and consistently move off the ball outside of camping at the three-point line. I know that's kind of been Van Gundy's use for him, but at the same time, he's a bad finisher at the rim. There's no two ways to put it. One of the worst in the league statistically, I believe, and has been since he came into the league. I think once you get Draymond Green, the Golden State method of trying to move the ball, consistently move to different spaces, he'll pick up on that, and I think he could get some easier points slashing to the rim. There's no doubt he's not going to be the same slasher Kelly Oubre is, probably not even close. But if that's the main thing you're losing, someone slashing to the rim, playmaking is just a different level. Lonzo creates so much for this offense. I think he's a smarter and probably a better fit defensively. Overall, there's not much that I think you're getting out of Oubre that you can't get out of Lonzo Ball, particularly once you bring him to the Warriors and you know how they love to maximize their players. I just don't see how the Warriors wouldn't take a chance on this if given the opportunity. That's the key word. Still a rumor. We still don't know the specifics, but I just wanted to talk about that because I think given the opportunity to trade Kelly Oubre, a good high energy guy, he likes blowing kisses to the crowd, he likes doing push-ups, he likes dunking on people. Lonzo kind of slumps his shoulders and looks nonchalant a lot of the time, but at the same time, I think Lonzo's a better player and what he does for this team can't really be matched by Kelly Oubre. He adds some more playmaking, allows Steph to play off ball even more. He allows them to get their transition points back up, which they need to do. That's how they've thrived in the past. They're currently lacking in that department. But let me quickly touch on the Pelicans. You don't have to click off this video yet, Warriors fans, because it might still interest you. The thing is, you can't just have a trade if it's one-sided, and it seems like it's one-sided by what I'm saying. No, that doesn't mean, everything I'm saying doesn't mean Lonzo is a far superior player to Kelly Oubre. There is different strengths of their games, and if Oubre is asked to guard bigger wings, he's going to do a better job. If he's asked to slash to the rim more, he's going to do a better job. Lonzo, if he's asked to shoot, playmaking, get out in transition, and guard smaller guards, then he's going to do a better job, and that's what the Warriors are going to ask of him. The Pelicans, on the other hand, I don't know what they're doing, honestly. In New Orleans, they want to add another non-shooter to the lineup. Be my guest. Just be my guest at this point. New Orleans, I don't know, but at the same time, with New Orleans, you've got to think, what is working? Nothing is working. They lost to the Minnesota Timberwolves without D'Angelo Russell and Karl Anthony Towns. That is illegal. No, that should be a genuine crime. I am 100% serious when I say that. So something is clearly wrong in terms of team morale, confidence, energy. I don't know what it is, but you can't lose to the Timberwolves without those two. That is unacceptable, and they haven't been winning against anyone else either. So if that just means bringing in Kelly Oubre, they're both on expiring contracts, I think it is like, why not? If you know what I mean. For the Warriors, it's like, definitely. I think that's a better fit. I like Lonzo and the Warriors. For the Pelicans, why not? Just take a chance, because this team is garbage at the moment and nothing makes sense on this roster. So why not add another non-shooter? Maybe he brings some energy, some defense, some of the intangible things that don't show up on the stat sheet. Anyways, that's all I've got to say. Thought this was an interesting trade rumor because I've talked quite a lot about Lonzo and the Warriors, so why not combine the two? It is a genuine trade rumor. I'm not just making up stuff from a Twitter source. It came from Shams, so it is legitimate. Anyways, that's it from me. Have a good day. Catch you next time. Bye.